Oh, what the power, the gift to gie us, to see ourselves as others see us. What my Scottish national poet ponders in his poem To a Louse is, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could see ourselves through others' eyes or a different lens? This reflection by Rabbie Burns, 200 years before Stephen Brookfield's Four Lenses of Critical Reflection, suggests that our own mirror can be egocentric or warped, which is why we often don't recognise and are ultra-critical of ourselves when we appear on camera or in photographs. The human mirror shown to us through the feedback of others allows us to see ourselves as we really are. This in turn allows us to explore by our own self-reflection and critical analysis, after which we can then evaluate our teaching and learn from this process. I asked a few of my students for feedback on my teaching of their video skills units and of their support on Newsdays. First of all, I asked them what I did well.
You're very hands-on, so if we need something, you'll be there straight away. You'll find different ways to explain it to us. So you might find different examples that work for different people. So for example, last week when we didn't understand the tracks, you used the chessboard. So that different ways of interacting with us, I thought was really helpful.
A lot of stuff. Patience and way explain is very good, and I don't feel as though I'm scared to ask you to explain something again.
You're very clear when you speak, and it's very easy to understand you because you explain things so easily. It's not it's not too formal. It's just nice and conversational.
You're very clear. I found it very easy to adapt to new softwares and to produce professional standard work thanks to your teaching.
A lot of the technical elements that we have no idea how to do kind of thing. When we ask you, you don't just tell us how to do it, you show us how, so then we can go and do that next time, which is really helpful.
You're good at explaining the cameras and teaching us beyond what it is we have to know to do what it is we have to do. So we get a lot of extra knowledge that I guess isn't maybe relevant to the course, but it's good for us to know.
You explain complicated things very clearly, and I don't find myself saying, what's that, a lot of the time. I always call for your help, but yeah, you explain things really clearly.
Conversely, what do they think I need to improve on? What can I do differently?
Perhaps more specialised sessions on different things. I found the Burley session very, very useful, and other software like that, and for the equipment as well. But I think even more of a focus would just enhance your teaching.
Sometimes you talk quickly, but that's because your accent, but you're aware you're doing it. So then a few minutes later you'll say, oh, I was talking too quickly. So you're already aware of what you're doing.
Simplify everything, even more than you think it is when it's simplified. It's better they say to you, oh no, we've done that already, or no, I get that, than, people get caught up in jargon and they're like, oh my god, I don't know what you're saying, but I don't want to ask because this is a new class.
Possibly maybe going a little bit slower. I feel sometimes I get confused still, and maybe I'm still not 100% certain on certain parts, certain topics. So, yeah.
Sometimes you show us a way to do something and then somebody else will show us a different way, which is a bit confusing. So maybe communication between you and the other people that are showing us things to do maybe could be a little bit better.
When you're teaching video skills, you could put the PowerPoints up, and then you could put little arrows to direct in different things, because sometimes when you're explaining it to us, we have the screen in front of us, but we can't exactly see what we need to click on and what we need to do next.
If you was to come across the problem, or someone's had a problem, you'd kind of pitch it to the rest of the class. So if you say, okay, Luke's had a problem, he can't upload his rushes. So if you used to say, look guys, take 5 minutes out of everyone's time, stop them what they're doing and say, look, this is the problem that's happened. If you come across this problem, this is how you can resolve it. So you're not always going to that individual person. You're kind of breaking it down into groups.
How can I tell if they are just telling me what they think I want to hear? And so I asked my colleague for her thoughts on observing my teaching.
Okay, I think you have real rapport with students. I think that's the best thing. I think you're very easy and comfortable with them, and they're very easy and comfortable with you, and really feel that they can ask you things, and that I think is amazing to have as any sort of teacher.
Conversely, what can I do better?
The only criticism I would have is that you need to sometimes be a bit more patient with some of our students, that they don't always get things first time round or even fifth time round, and that you have to keep showing them or actually think of different ways to explain the same thing. And it's failing, I have to.
So what is peer reflection? The consensus seems to be that it is the process of learning from experience in order to improve and achieve a level of excellence. Now, given that we seem to have the inability as human beings to see ourselves realistically and in an honest light, feedback on our teaching should be mandatory best practice